Beijing's basic dictatorship, for which Justin Trudeau has expressed his admiration, has been interfering in Canadian elections and democracy for years. And Justin Trudeau has known about this and has done nothing about it for months. And it was only after conservative pressure to call a public inquiry that we are here where we are today. Never forget that Justin Trudeau has tried to do everything to avoid this. He had to be dragged kicking and screaming to the point where we're at today. And while we accept the terms of reference and the nomination of Justice Hogue, Conservatives will be watching like hawks to make sure that Canadians get the real answers that they deserve about foreign interference in our democracy. The first calls for a public inquiry were made in March 1st. We had a vote in the House of Commons where all the opposition parties agreed, and yet Justin Trudeau refused to take this important step. Much time was wasted and much additional damage to Canadians' faith and confidence in our democratic systems occurred. And so we are where we are today because of that Conservative pressure. But Justin Trudeau still hasn't taken concrete steps to do anything about it. He still hasn't implemented a foreign agents registry, something that security experts from across the country have been calling on him to do. There are still things that Conservatives will demand that Justin Trudeau do to preserve the integrity of our democratic institutions.
Mr. Scheer, you spent a lot of time as a party and your leader denouncing David Johnston, calling him a ski buddy with a fake job and so on. Have you looked carefully through Marie-Josée Hogue's background to make sure she's got no links to the Prime Minister through the Trudeau Foundation or anything else? And having asked that part, if that is the case, can we see a much more productive process going forward?
Well, you rightly point out that Justin Trudeau's first attempt to deal with this was to sweep it under the rug by appointing a family friend and ski buddy with strong ties to the Trudeau Foundation. After he didn't get away with that, Conservatives kept up the pressure, and we arrived where we are today with a process that was more inclusive of opposition parties. And I can tell you that we do accept the nomination of Justice Hogue. So it is our hope that based on that, we'll actually get real answers, but we will not take that for granted. We'll continue to be very vigilant about this process, make sure the government complies and cooperates, and that this actually produces the results that Canadians deserve about their democratic institutions.
Some people have wondered about, and some experts have wondered about including Russia and other hostile actors sort of in the terms of reference of this proceeding when China was the focus of this exercise. I wonder if you could sort of walk us through why that was a necessity here.
Sure. Well, it's quite clear that the information that has been coming out by whistleblowers, by people in our national security agencies who are raising the alarm about this issue, is concentrated on China. That's very clear. It's very clear that our colleague Michael Chong was targeted by an agent, an official from the PRC. So that's obviously why that's the focal point. Now, Conservatives believe that if there's any foreign state actor that's interfering in our elections, that should be uncovered and dealt with. And so we accepted that inclusion based on that rationale. But obviously, over the past few months, the information that's been coming out has all had to do with the regime in Beijing.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, Canadians want to know what Justin Trudeau knew and when he knew it when it came to foreign interference, and without any firm commitments from the Prime Minister's office to open cabinet confidentiality, how can you be sure that this isn't, I mean, regardless of who the judge is, whether they have ties to the Pierre Trudeau Foundation, how can you be sure that this is going to be an open and transparent process if they're not going to open the books?
Well, you rightly point out that Justin Trudeau has known for years. We know that he received at least 6 briefings about foreign interference and did nothing about it. This is the this is the goal of this exercise. The goal of this inquiry is to uncover that. Now, obviously, if Justin Trudeau does not fully cooperate, does not produce the documents that can bring clarity to this and shine a light to what he knew, and what was recommended to him, and what he did or did not do, what he failed to do. Obviously, that's going to be our job as the opposition, to highlight that for Canadians, to keep the pressure on Justin Trudeau so he does not get away with sweeping this under the rug.
I'm not seeing a lot of experience that this judge has had dealing with national security matters. That was something that Pierre Poilievre said, a judge with national security background could and should lead this inquiry. So why is this individual the right person to do it?
Well, as I said, we completely rejected both the fake job and the person that they filled it with the last time. David Johnson was a family friend of the Trudeaus and strong links to the Trudeau Foundation. So with this nomination, we accept Justice Hogue. That's what we're saying. We accept the nomination of Justice Hogue, and we will continue to not just push for the government to be open and transparent and provide all the documents and waive all the cabinet confidences that may be required to ensure Canadians get their answer, but also to put pressure on the steps they could take today, bringing in a foreign agents registry, expelling officials from the regime in Beijing who have operated in diasporas across, in communities across the country to exert influence on our democracies. People who were involved with the Beijing-run police stations in communities across Canada. There are easy things they could do today that we're going to keep the pressure on, in addition to making sure they comply and cooperate with this process. Thanks very much, everyone.